In this exercise, we're going to take a look at adding seating or avatar pose spots to a furniture item. So we've got a furniture project open in Blender, which also means that we have the toolkit accessible in the sidebar. So that's from the View menu, sidebar. That opens up the sidebar, there's the toolkit, and we have the furniture tool open because this is a furniture project. So we have our mesh, and we have the root node of the furniture item called root. All seating is linked to or associated with the root node, which controls the whole object. So to add seating, just standard seating, we've got three buttons: idle, standing, or sitting in the toolbar. Generally speaking, all we need is standing and sitting, the standard seated or standing avatars. And what this will do when we click these buttons, so if we click standing first, that drops in a set of nodes that represent different aspects of the functionality of seating in IMVU. So we can just move this out of the way. So we're using our widgets. So move, rotate, don't do scale. So just move, rotate. We've got our widget. Let's move that to one side. Let's just quickly reposition this somewhere. Like so. So what we have are four nodes. Seat01.standing, in this case because it uses a standard standing pose of the avatar. So when the avatar is using an item, it will stand next to it in this particular instance. But this node represents the actual origin point where the avatar actually stands. So this is where the avatar would stand. The handle is what we see in IMVU in order to select the different nodes or pose spots that might be available for a furniture item. So each pose or avatar spot will have its corresponding handle. We click on that and we use the spot. And then we've also got the capture and picture nodes. And these are for interactive poses or actions between avatars. So if there was another avatar in a room and you clicked on the avatar to shake hands, for example, one avatar would stand at this spot, the other avatar at this spot, and then they would shake hands. And the distance is set so that the hands meet in the middle. So wherever possible, if these need to be moved, they can be moved as a unit, so two nodes together, like so, but never independently. So don't change the nodes independent of the group, of the two nodes, capture and picture. These should always be moved as a unit. So we have avatar stands at this point, the interactive element in IMVU is the handle, and then the capture and picture are the two spots for interactive animations. We can select the seat node and use this to position the set anywhere relative to a furniture item. And the group will move wherever the seat node moves. So that's a standing spot. Let's just add a sitting spot. So click on the sitting button and that will do the same thing. It'll add in a set of nodes. And again, seat node is selected by default or highlighted by default, and we can move the group with that node. And it's set up relative to the scale cube or the scale object, which we've got hidden at the moment. So this is the height of the seated avatar. So the furniture item that was created, a simple stool, a simple stump that the avatar will sit on. But that's it. That's all we need to do. The standard standing sitting poses. We just click the button, add the corresponding seat node set, and if we need more seats, we just click the corresponding button, however many times we need. So let's just save this. File, save as. Seats. Now using the toolkit, we don't need to do anything else. So long as these nodes that we've just added reside inside the furniture export collection, this will export as a functional item for IMVU. So we can check that. So we're in the outliner, we want to check. So there is our mesh. And root is the root node or root bone of the furniture item, where we can check by expanding the options, seat nodes. They should always generally be underneath or associated with root. But failing that, as long as they're inside furniture export, it will export a functional furniture item. So for that, all we need to do is save the file. Let's just do that again, save, and then just click the export button at the bottom. That exports an FBX that we can then import into Studio. So in IMVU Studio, we want to click on the Create button or the plus button, either or. We want to run through our categories to furniture. Then select empty furniture. So click on that, highlight. We'll get a preview of nothing because there's nothing in an empty furniture item. And just click the Drive button. That's the avatar based on our settings. And then all we do is import the FBX. So import icon, import FBX, browse through the location of the FBX file, there it is. So select, open. We'll get a preview of what's in the file. So 2 skeletons, 1 mesh, 1 material. Click Setup FBX. This is okay, and this is okay. So we don't need to edit scale. We don't necessarily need to edit skeleton information either. The mesh ID, click the drop down, change that to 0. It will override the default. Override meshes, yes. Then click Next. There's our material. We can change it here if we want. Click Next. No animation. Review. That's what it's going to bring in. Then import. There is the mesh, and it should auto-assemble. There are our standard avatar pose spots. And this will make use of the default animations for the sitting and standing avatars. So all we next need to do, if we want to change materials of our object, we want to go into Component, Materials, select the material, and then change the properties if we want. And then once we've done all of that, we need to save the file. File, save as. Save. Update the product info. So icons, name, rating, profit, anything else, and then just submit to the catalog. That's the basics of adding standard seating or standard avatar poses to a furniture item using the toolkit in Blender.